You know that feeling when you just pause for a second and realize something is a little bit different? It's kind of hard to pin down, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to try and get to the bottom of that really quiet, nagging question. Why don't I feel like myself anymore?
Yeah, it's not some big, loud, dramatic change. It's way more subtle than that. Kind of like a background hum that just wasn't there before. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel it. It's there. And what's so weird about it is this feeling, it's probably not about your job or your friends or anything happening around you. I mean, on the surface, everything might look totally normal, exactly the same as it always has. Nope, this change is all internal. It's a quiet shift in your own personal world, in the actual experience of being you.
Okay, so let's dig into that. What does it actually mean when something just feels off? Well, for a lot of us, it really just boils down to one thing, a sense of disconnection. And here's the part that makes it so confusing. It's a total paradox, right? You look in the mirror, you see the same face. You've got the same memories, the same name, all of it. But that feeling, that internal sensation of being you, that's what's changed. So this is the big question we're tackling here. And just to be clear, this isn't about finding something wrong with you. Not at all. It's about trying to understand the really subtle forces that have kind of quietly reshaped how you experience things.
All right, so where do we start? Well, the first big clue is this. That feeling, it didn't just show up overnight. No way. It crept in really slowly. It's the result of a gradual disconnection. I mean, just think about it for a second. You go through your day, you do all the things you need to do, you just keep moving. But are you really, truly there for any of it? Or does it sometimes feel like you're just watching yourself go through the motions? Kind of like you're an observer in your own life? That's the distance we're talking about.
So how does that distance even happen? Well, a lot of the time, it starts with routine. Our days get pretty predictable, right? And when that happens, we kind of switch over to autopilot. We just stop actively noticing the little details of our own lives. And right there, in that lack of noticing, this quiet gap starts to open up between us and our own experiences. And what this does is it kind of makes us lose our own reference point. I bet you can remember a time when your sense of self just felt, I don't know, more solid, more real. It's the contrast between that memory and how you feel now. This new, harder to define feeling, that's what creates that sense of unease. Okay, the next piece of this puzzle is a huge one. It's all about attention. Because really, where your attention goes, that's where your reality is built. Think about it. In the world we live in, our attention is just fractured. It's constantly jumping, from a notification on your phone, to an email, to a thought about what's for dinner, to a bit of a conversation you overhear, all in the span of a few seconds. And when our attention never gets a chance to just settle, we can't really form a deep connection with the present moment. And let's be honest, if you're not connected to the moment, how can you possibly be connected to yourself? All of this fragmented attention, it creates something we can call internal noise. You know what I'm talking about? It's that nonstop chatter in your head, the constant planning, the worrying, the replaying of conversations. This noise, it's like a buffer. It creates even more distance between you and just directly experiencing your life. So, we've talked about some personal things like routine and where our attention goes. But now, let's zoom out a bit. Let's see how all of this fits into a much bigger, kind of unseen system. And this is so important to get. Feeling this way, feeling disconnected, it is not a personal failure. It's not you. It's often just the logical outcome of the environment we're all living in. It's a system that, a lot of the time, completely unintentionally, is designed to pull you out of the present moment. So what's this system made of? Well, you can kind of boil it down to a couple of main things. First, there's the constant, nonstop input from our devices, from media, from everything. Second, there's this culture of constant movement, of always being busy. And when you put those two things together, the natural result is a state of reduced awareness, a disconnect from ourselves.
So after all that, what does this all mean for you right now? Let's put these final pieces together.
Okay, so here it is, the big takeaway. The reason you don't feel like yourself anymore isn't because you fundamentally changed as a person. It's because your experience of being you has changed. That's the key. The routine, the fractured attention, that internal noise,
all those things we talked about. They've just slowly created a distance. And if that's true, then maybe the first step to feeling like yourself again isn't about changing who you are. Maybe it's just about changing what you notice.